Hello there. Welcome to Estio Training. My name is Donna Kane, and I'm a technical trainer with Estio that delivers the Level 3 Data Technician Apprenticeship course. In celebration of National Apprenticeship Week 2022, Estio Training are offering some taster sessions of some of the modules included and a variety of the apprenticeships that are on programme. For my session, I'm actually going to be introducing you to some samples of our Excel Fundamentals module. This is one of 4 Excel modules that are delivered throughout the duration of the apprenticeship. It's one of the first modules, so hopefully it won't be too overwhelming for you. I'm going to deliver you some content and also give you the opportunity to actually apply some of those skills by running through some guided tasks. So I hope you enjoy, and let's get started. I'm going to share some content on a PowerPoint for you, and then I'm going to be offering some live demonstration also. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen, so I'm going to turn my camera on. Sharing my screen now. Okay, so as I said, this is in honour and celebration of National Apprenticeship Week 2022. And I'm going to be delivering some of the content for my Excel Data Fundamentals module. The content I'm going to be showing you today is surrounding Excel templates. Now, this is an area that people are probably familiar with, but maybe do not use very often. Templates are an excellent way to sort of automate and save time when you have repetitive or repeating tasks within your role. But in essence, what are templates? They're a pre-designed spreadsheet that you can create new spreadsheets within the same formatting and predefined formulas. Their advantages are, I mentioned, they save you time. Once they've originally been set up, if you are producing regular reports of the same context, then we can actually set these templates up so that when you become the time to repeat that task, the time saving is massive. It also offers consistency for those reports, and they're customizable. So they're very good when it comes to branding also. Templates can actually include formatting, so they're ready to use. So I mentioned branding here. So you can actually format your reporting in guidance with your organization's brand. So that keeps them sort of a good template within your organization. But they can also be set up with the right layout and functions and formulas built in so that when you come to repeat that report, all you have to do is enter the new data and the formulas will do their job. So actually, that's, as I mentioned, are the user-defined function side of things. They can also include macros. Now, that's an area of the apprenticeship that is further down in the modules, but it is something that you will learn. And we can also do custom toolbars. Okay, so really good, as I've mentioned, if you're in a job role where you're doing repeating tasks on a regular basis. Once they're set up, they are there for you to use moving forward, but also for the organisation to access too. So I'm going to show you some live demonstration here now of how originally what I want to show you is actually the Excel templates themselves. And then I'm going to move into the customizable ones. I'm going to change my screens now because I'm going to move ahead to live demonstration. Okay, changing screens now. Okay, so here in front of me, I have just a blank Excel workbook, nothing in it. But I want to introduce you to the Excel templates that are actually already built in. There's a variety of purposes to choose from, depending on what you actually want to utilize and what data you want to put in them. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through how you would access the inbuilt Excel templates. So from your blank workbook here, we're going to navigate up onto the ribbon to the far left-hand side, and we're going to select File. Okay, and we're going to do New. You can do New, or you can actually follow along at the top of the ribbon, and you'll start to see some examples. And you'll see down here it says More Templates. If I select More Templates, this is going to bring me up a few that are built in. Now you're going to see two tabs here. You may or may not see two tabs on your side. You may just see Office. If you don't see Personal, all this means is at this stage, you haven't set up any personal templates yourself, which are the customizable ones I'm going to talk you through. Okay. Inside the search box here, you can put any subject matter you want in here and search through the plethora of templates that Excel has on offer. I'm just going to put something in here to do with budgets, sort of a personal budget. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to select the search button and it's going to search through everything it has on offer. And there's a whole abundance of different budgets available to you. You can scroll down and see what's going on, what sort of ones are available to you, and what the purpose is you're looking for. Okay, I'm going to scroll all the way down. You can also sort of track it down to something even more identifiable. So I could put personal budget in here, search again, and it's going to bring up some personal budgets here. Okay, now I've got a personal budget one here, or I've got a simple one. Let's try a simple one. What you can do is you can actually click in this once, and what that will do is open up a window regarding the one you've selected, and it will give you a sort of breakdown of what this template is giving you on offer. So this one's explaining how it's a better understanding of your finances with a simple personal budget template. Okay, if you're happy with what you think you see, you click create. That will then download it for you. Okay, and then you'll get a breakdown of what is available inside this template. So this is giving you an overview. This is your starting button. Now each template will have a different layout and different ways of explaining their template that you're going to be using. Some of them come up with comment boxes on the left hand side and tell you where the data starts. This one's given us a nice start button here talking us about the template, how it's used, how you can enter revenues and expenses. There's also some other areas that are to do with formatting that we cover later in the module, but it's giving you a nice breakdown and an overview of what the template is. The next tab along you can see is personal budget. This is now showing us what is available to us. Okay, so we can click through this now and we can see there's a breakdown. Now we can overwrite these if we want to. We can also see the format here is actually in dollars, and we can change that. Okay, so we could actually highlight those columns. I'm just going to do the first few to show you how this works. We can navigate onto our home tab, go along to our number group. This is where you can change the data types. In this case, this is currency. So there's actually a shortcut key here. If you hover over that, it will explain what it is. We can go to the drop down box and we can select English pounds. And you can see that will then change the format from dollars to pounds. So you can see it's only changed the ones I've highlighted, and you can see here these are all dollars. So all you would need to do is highlight the whole thing. So you can then overwrite this information to whatever you want and complete this budget with whatever you want to change. You can change the layout, you can change the titles, anything you want to do. So this is an example of the inbuilt Excel templates that are available to you. Now what you want to do here, once you've happy with it, once you've completed all the data you want to enter, you can then save it. Now how we save templates, I'm going to go up to File. We're going to go to Save As. We're going to go to Browse. And what you're going to find here is it will generically change it to an Excel workbook, but you don't want that. You want to change it to a template. So if you click the drop down arrow and scroll down to Excel template, it will then change the location of where these templates sit. Okay. I would recommend staying with the recommended selection because you'll always know where to find them. But you're more than welcome to change that to a location within your computer where you desire. But let me show you what happens if you remain in this custom office templates. I'm going to change it to simple budget. You can give this whatever name you want. And I'm going to click save. That is now saved. If I close that out now, ran through, I want to update it. I've done some more spending through the month. So I want to be able to go back to my template and bring it up. Or I've used it, changed it, I've saved that one. I now want to create next month's. So I'm going to go in and select it for next month. I go into File. And what you'll see here, you'll get your More Templates again. Now that you've created a template of your own, you will find your Personal tab. Within your Personal tab are all the different templates that you've probably created. And you can see this was the one we just changed. If you open that, scroll down, it would be easier. We've got simple budget here. I open that, and there we go. You can see the changes that I made there. You can see the pound symbol on this section, the dollar here. So you can see that this is the one that I saved. Okay, so that's how to use the inbuilt templates that Excel has to offer. But what I want to show you now, I'm going to click Don't Save on that because I don't want to. What I want to show you now is how you can create your own templates with your own data. Now, these are the ones I was referring to where you have sort of budgets or data that you have to run and reports that are the same format and layout on a regular basis. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring up this. This is a monthly budget that I created. And what you see in front of you is actually an example of something that you will be able to create during this exact module if you are on the apprenticeship. So you will be able to recreate all these things yourself once you've sat through one of the modules covering the content. But I've got this data here now. It's set up, I've formatted it, I've got formulas in there, which are my calculations for adding up here. So you can see I've got formulas in here. I've got formulas over here on the right and also formulas down here. Now I want to keep those in place and I want to keep my formatting in place. But what's going to change, obviously for next quarter, this data is going to be updated. I may have spent more on the car, more on credit cards, highly likely. But I want to be able to keep all the formatting and the formulas in place. Okay, so what we need to do now is prepare what we have in front of us ready for saving as a template. Okay, so as I mentioned, I want to leave all the formatting in place. I want to leave all the formulas in place, but the data is going to change. Okay, the only data on here that will actually be updated or changed are where you can see values against actual individual bills. Okay, so we've got our rent, our car, credit cards, food, and phone. Okay, so this is the data that is going to change probably for next quarter. So this is the data that we, in essence, need to remove in order to be able to save a template to then work with on the next quarter. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to click and hold, and I'm going to drag, which will highlight the selection of cells that I want to remove. Once you're happy with the selection of cells, let go, and then you can just delete. Now, don't panic with what's happened here. You're going to see some little error messages. Obviously, everything's gone to zero because I've removed the data that the equations are set against. So you can see here, the equation is still in place. For example, this here is adding up all the totals from B5 to D5. So that would include B5, C5, and D5. That formula is still in place. It's set as zero now, but because there's no data in there. The reason you've got errors along here is because they are equations based on the results in these cells. And because there's zero in there, when you look at the formula, it's actually extracting data from there, but because the value is zero, it's got nothing to make an equation on. which is why it's showing an error. But don't panic. That is normal and you would expect to see it when you've removed the data. Okay, so I'm happy with that. That's the data I know I'm going to be updating. Now I just want to save this as a template. If I go into File again, exactly how we changed it earlier, we're going to run the same process. So I'm going to go into File. I'm going to go into Save As. I'm going to go to Browse. Okay, it's going to try and save it as an Excel workbook. I want to change that and I want to search for template again. Excel template. Again, you have the option to save this in a location of your choice. For me, I like to leave them where the custom office templates are because I'll always know where to find them. Okay, I'm going to change my name there and I'm going to call it monthly budget plate. Okay, and I'm going to save it. That is now saved. You can see the name change up there and it's showing it's saved. I'm going to close that out now. And I'm going to come along. I've maybe made some changes. The next quarter's come round. It's the same report. I just need to add my new data. Go up to File. Again, you'll have this ribbon of documents here. You'll see your More Templates. This will then highlight your Office ones, which are the ones that Excel has on offer for you. And you have your personal. If I scroll down now, these are all the templates I have saved myself. And I'm going to look for monthly budget template. I click open on that. So you just click it once. There we are. We're open. We can now update our dates. So I can change that to now April, May, and June. Okay, that's the first change. And then I'm going to start putting my details in. So my rent went up. Okay. The reason that's gone red, don't worry about that. That is because some of the formatting in place is something called conditional formatting, and that is something else we will be covering during the modules. Okay, but that's a really nice example there because when you saw the data last time, that wasn't in red. And it's because I've got a certain condition in place where it reaches a certain figure, I get it to highlight. So you can see exactly like I mentioned, those formulas have stayed in place. Also, you can see now we've got our figures starting to appear in our totals. So our sum is doing its job and it's shown 100% because that's all that's in there at the moment. Okay, so let's say, oh, he dropped the rent the following month, which is nice of him. Okay, when he dropped it again the month after that, he was feeling generous. Okay, got our car. Let's say we did 150. And I'm just showing you some examples now of how our bills work. Credit cards, I'll say 200. Food, 300 at a hungry month. A phone, and so on and so forth. So you can see as I'm adding data into my template, all my equations are doing their job and running their calculations. And you can see obviously the percentage calculation is running through here too. So a really easy way for you to be able to take those repetitive tasks that you do within your job or even personally and make them much easier, less time consuming. Obviously, the time consumption comes first time around when you originally set your spreadsheet up ready for template. But once you've done that, you can adjust it. You can also make changes. So if maybe you had more bills coming in now, you could actually change that and create a new template, call it number 2, whatever you want to do, and continue to create those templates. What I'm going to do now is give you an opportunity to test out some of the knowledge we've shown you here, but also maybe introduce you to a few other skills. After this session, there's actually available some tasks for you to complete. So let me just change my screens and talk you through that. Okay, changing screens now. Okay, so within the resources you have access to here, there is a guided exercise. It's titled Setting Up a Workbook. There's actually three workbooks for you to download. One is called Setting Up a Workbook, one is called Patient Activity, and one is called Hours Calculator. These are the three worksheets or spreadsheets, Excel spreadsheets that you're going to be working with, and you will need to download these to your system. There is also a PDF document that will offer you guided instructions. So if it's something you're unsure of how to complete, have a look at the PDF because it will talk you through how to complete the task. This is also titled Setting Up a Workbook. This is going to allow you to apply some new skills that you've learnt with me here today and consolidate them, but also introduce you to some other areas that we haven't covered. But because it's a guided task and it will talk you through it, you won't need to think, I don't know how to do this. It's all there to help you out through it. And that concludes our sample session. I really hope you've enjoyed your time with me, and I hope it's given you a nice introduction and a taster session of what Estio training is about and how we care about taking you through new skills to develop yourself in your roles. I hope to see you sometime in the future. Have a great day.